Alfred Jodl, Nazi Germany Colonel General. Alfred Jodl was born on 10th May 1890 in Würzburg, Bavaria, German Empire. He was raised Roman Catholic but rejected the faith later in life. He was educated at a military cadet school in Munich and graduated in 1910. He joined the army as an artillery officer. During the World War I, he served with a battery unit on the Western Front from 1914 to 1916 and was severely wounded in the battle. After recovering from his injuries, in 1917 he served briefly on the Eastern Front before returning to the West as staff officer. In 1918 he was awarded the Iron Cross First Class for his bravery in action. After the defeat of the German Empire in 1918, he continued his career as a professional soldier with the German army, Reichswehr. Jodl had married Irma in 1913. She died in 1944. In November 1944, Jodl married Louis von Benda, a family friend. Ferdinand Jodl was his younger brother, who became an army general during World War II. In the last days of the Weimar Republic, under the leadership of General Ludwig Beck, Jodl was promoted to the rank of General Major in the operations branch of Truppenmut in the Army High Command. After the Anschluss, Jodl was appointed commander of the 44th Division from October 1938 to August 1939. The Anschluss was the annexion of the federal state of Austria into the German Reich on 13th March 1938. On 23 August 1939, just before the Nazi German invasion of Poland, Jodl was appointed by Hitler as the Chief of Operations Staff of the High Command of the Armed Forces Oberkommando der Wehrmacht. The Oberkommando der Wehrmacht was the High Command of the Armed Forces of Nazi Germany. OKW oversaw the individual high commands of the country's armed forces, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. Jodl first met Adolf Hitler in September 1939, during the outbreak of World War II. After the German invasion of Poland on 3 September 1939, France declared war on Germany. France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands were defeated by Nazi Germany. Following the fall of France, Jodl was optimistic about Germany's success over Britain, writing on 30 June 1940 that the final German victory over England is now only a question of time. He also served as a chief of staff during the invasion of Denmark and Norway. He directed all military operations and participated in the planning, conducting most of Germany's military operations during World War II. Jodl signed the Commissar Order of 6 June 1941, in which Soviet political commissars were to be shot, and the Commando Order of 28 October 1942, in which light commandos, including properly uniformed soldiers, were to be executed immediately without trial, if captured behind German lines. Under the 1907 Hague Convention on Land Warfare, it was legal to execute spies and saboteurs, disguised in civilian clothes or enemy uniforms, but not those captured in uniforms of their own army. Jodl spent most of the war at the Wolf's Lair, Hitler's forward command post in East Prussia. On the 1st February 1944, he was promoted to the rank of Colonel General. On 20th July 1944, an attempt was made to assassinate Adolf Hitler at his Wolf's Lair headquarters. Jodl was present in the room. He was slightly injured from the explosion. By early 1945, Nazi Germany had collapsed. Both the Red Army and the Western Allies forces were advancing into Germany. On April 30, 1945, a Soviet Red Army were within a block or two of the Reich Chancellery. Hitler committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. After Hitler's suicide, Karl Dönitz succeeded Adolf Hitler as head of the state in May 1945. On 6 May 1945, Jodl was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross by Karl Dönitz. Following the regional surrender of German troops in Europe, Dönitz sent Jodl to respond to the demand for immediate and unconditional surrender on all fronts. Jodl signed the German instrument of surrender on 7 May 1945 in Reims, France, as a representative of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht. The surrender to all the Allies was concluded on 8 May in Berlin. On 13 May, following the arrest of Wilhelm Keitel, Jodl succeeded him as chief of OKW. On 23 May 1945, British troops arrested Jodl along with the rest of the Flensburg government of Dönitz and transferred to Aschenpau camp, later put before the International Military Tribunal at the Nuremberg trials. He was accused of conspiracy to commit crimes against peace, planning, initiating, and waging wars of aggression, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. The main charges against him are related to his signature on the Commando Order and the Commissar Order. Both ordered that prisoners of war to be executed without trial after capture. Although he denied his role in the crime, pleaded not guilty, before God, before history and my people. He was convicted on all 4 charges and was sentenced to death. Alfred Jodl was hanged at Nuremberg prison on 16 October 1946. Although he had asked the court for execution by firing squad according to the military traditions. His last words were reportedly, Ich grüße dich, mein ewiges Deutschland. I salute you, my eternal Germany. His remains were cremated at Ostfriedhof in Munich, and the ashes were scattered in the Wensbach, River Isar. 28 February 1953, after his widow Louise sued to reclaim her pension and his estate, a West German densification court declared Jodl not guilty of the main charges brought against him at Nuremberg, not guilty of breaking international law, citing the French co-president of the tribunal, Henri Donidieu de Fabre, who had in 1949 called the verdict against Jodl a mistake. His property, which had been confiscated in 1946, was returned to his widow. This declaration was revoked on 3 September 1953 after pressure from United States.